and provide faster transport, and at the same time it should provide access to everybody. In other words, it should be equitable to everybody. Even the poor or rich, they should have equal opportunity to enjoy the benefits of the transport system. And the third, which is most important one, is environmental. Unfortunately, all the three objectives always they are in conflict with each other. If you want to improve the efficiency, you cannot achieve the access. If you achieve the access, then you are going to disturb the environment. If you are going to penetrate your transport system more into these residential areas, you will have environmental pollution. So the transportation planning itself is a challenge for everybody. One has to see the optimization. What we try to do in this is to optimize the whole system's functioning. As the Chief Engineer has said, that in tune with the national policy as well as in tune with the world policy. In fact, all over the world, it is now said we should encourage high occupancy vehicles movement. We should be moving people rather than moving vehicles. That is what is important. And quite surprisingly, none of our cities in the country have enough area allocated to transport and communications. The only city in the country which I can name is Delhi, which is slightly better off. It has got about 15 to 18% of the area is allocated to transport system movements. Normally, if you look at the developed world, minimum allocation will be around 25%. It can go up to 30%. And Hyderabad is somewhere around 9 or 10% of the thing. Even in the outer areas, where the new developments are coming up, not enough thought is being given to provide adequate space for moving the people, moving the vehicles or moving the people, in other words. So that is what is important. The future, any development plans that are being approved should have that, keeping in mind, we should adequately allocate the space for moving and moving around. And one more interesting thing I would like to observe is, none of the roads in Hyderabad can be called as an arterial road. Every road has direct access to the property. That actually is the most inefficient way of conducting transport system. In fact, when I had a dream of carving out a hierarchical network where you have the mobility routes where you get onto it and then you don't stop anywhere, you keep moving. Then gradually come down to a lower speed to access the properties. That means there has to be three types of system. One is mobility, then another is distribution, then the access. That is how it should have been planned and it should have been developed. We try to carve out, but because of the development that we have got, still we try to do something the best that is possible. I would like to share with you what we thought about. I'm sure many of the people will appreciate, and there are also some people who will say that we cannot afford to do this because we have already developed land and all. So what I would like to formally present, how we went about identifying the transport system for the long term, and then how we try to phase it out, how it should be developed over a period of 30 years, and highlight some of the important things that we have recommended. And then we can, we'll welcome any suggestions if there is a need to, because transport system development itself is a dynamic thing. It can never be a static. I cannot say, in spite of my best efforts, I cannot dictate this is going to be the transport system, because the development itself will take a different direction as things change. So we try to make a provision through the model that we have developed. The model can be used as the things change. You can input the changes that you are thinking of, the changes that are likely to come. Then you can reorient the development of the transport system itself. But in a larger way, the framework would remain more or less same. Maybe here and there may be some directions, slight change can be made. So now I go through the presentation. As Ms. Madhuraj already said, this study is blessed with the funding from the Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India. 50% they came forward, and then remaining 50% is shared amongst the stakeholders within the city, that HMDA, GHMC, APSRTC and HMRL. The study commenced in March 2011. We have spent almost about 30 months and then prepared a transportation plan. We have submitted the draft report, which has been discussed, and then out of the draft report, what has come out has been notified as the transportation plan for the next 30 years' time. and that is being discussed. And then I once again say that please do not hesitate to drop in. Probably, I mean, with my 30 years of experience, this is the first study which has been totally, I mean, shared with the public. Every report that we submitted to the clients was put on website. It was in the public domain. We did receive, I mean, some of the inputs. Of course, you see, I can't expect every individual to comment on the transport system. Each individual will have their own perception of the transport system. That is how transport is nobody's baby. It is everybody's baby at the same time. And everybody is an expert and everybody is non-expert in this. So then all reports are available. You can always, I mean, go to the website.